they play on Sunday Night Football. They're presenting themselves in front of the whole world, and finally some national pundits see what I've been talking about, or some of us have been talking about. Shannon Sharp lost his mind on Mike McGlinchey last night. Wouldn't even say his name. He said 69 is terrible, which is kind of how I feel. And so McGlinchey's been getting a lot of criticism the last 24 hours. Is it unwarranted? Do you think people are being too hard on Mike McGlinchey?
Well, no. I mean, he's a big boy. He kind of brought it on himself a little bit, talking and going into the game about how Niner fans preferred Derwin. Mike McGlinchey was a top 10 pick. You can question a top 10 pick being used on a right tackle, period. But then, he also had struggles with speed rushers, and now he's got injuries. So what do you have? You have a top 10 pick wasted on a right tackle. He's not a left tackle. He's a right tackle exclusively, who lacks some strength to anchor against bull rushers and lacks some speed to neutralize speed rushers. And that's when he's healthy, and he's banged up and not healthy. So that's where they're at. I mean, he's a pretty marginal player I like him, nice guy to talk to and everything, but he's pretty marginal.
I've always felt that he's kind of marginal, especially in pass protection, but that's always been the case. I think the worst development with him this year is that he's no longer a good run blocker. In the past, they got big plays around the right side with Mostert and Kittle and McGlinchey. But now, the Niners run left more than any team in the league. When they run right, it seems like there's penetration a lot. Those toss plays to the right, those stretch plays to the right are pretty ineffective. And it's not just his fault, right? Burford's new, Brendel's new. Those three guys together aren't exactly getting it done on the outside zone to the right. But McGlinchey in particular at the point of attack, I really think he's hurting the run game. And that's why you're seeing Mitchell really look more effective than McCaffrey. They're different running backs. Mitchell's more between the tackles, and McCaffrey needs to get to the edge, and you can't get to the right edge, so they're running left, and defenses know it. And now you're sort of lost balance in your run game because of McGlinchey. This is what happened at the end of the Harbaugh years. They were dominant on the ground. They lost Anthony Davis in 2014, replaced him with Jonathan Martin, and they couldn't run right anymore. They went 8-8. It's a big deal.
This D-line that they played last night is one of the worst D-lines in pro football. And they at halftime, the Niners were averaging 3.2 yards a carry. So against a team that cannot stop the run.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Christian Covington. They made Sebastian Joseph Day and Morgan Fox and Christian Covington and Van. They made this front look really good. This front lost the big UCLA kid, Obonia or whatever. He's a talent. Mm-hmm. But and then he went down. Of course, they're already depleted. I was expecting the 49er offensive line to dominate in this matchup. They should have dominated. They didn't dominate.
I think an unheralded player from last year that's gone was Tom Compton. He was not a good pass protector, worse than McGlinchey, but he was a good run blocker. And with him on the field, the Niners could run right and left. And now he's gone, and they can't do that anymore, which is why I feel like they should give Colton McKivitz or Jalen Moore a shot. Neither one of those guys is an upgrade over McGlinchey in pass protection, but this is a team that wants to run the ball to the perimeter, and maybe those two guys could be better because, frankly, how could you be worse?
I don't know that either is an upgrade, but I'm pretty convinced that neither's a downgrade.
Thank you.
You know what I'm saying? I actually think McKivitz is pretty assignment sound. He's poised. The moment's not too big for him. His problem is his arms are a little short, and he's not the quickest. So speed rushers are going to give him the same problems they give McGlinchey. Jalen Moore's intriguing because I think Jalen Moore's got upside to start and potentially could be better than McGlinchey, but then he's maybe not as trustworthy right now. So, I don't know what Chris Forster gets paid good cash to make these calls. He says he doesn't have starters and backups. He's just got a bunch of guys, basically. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. I'm interested to see what Nick Zakelj looks like when Zakelj gets out there, but he's more of an interior guy. They're kind of a tackle short unless either McGlinchey can start playing at a better level. I can deal with the pass blocking, but the run blocking has got to be a strength. Otherwise, I think I'd rather go with Jalen Moore.
Yeah, absolutely. I think they got to make this switch. They got to be real honest about what they're doing in the run game. And I think it was the fact that they couldn't run the ball effectively with Christian McCaffrey against the worst run defense in the league. Why? Christian didn't forget how to run the ball. What's the problem? It's your offensive line, specifically the right side, specifically your right tackle. So what are you going to do? If Tom Compton was an upgrade as a run blocker last year, maybe you got an upgrade on your team right now. Double B Studio says, what's up, Grant and Larry? For the first time in 10 years, I'm going to miss the Niners coming to Phoenix, the Aztec Stadium, too far from me. LOL.
Stadio Azteca, not making it?
I'll be there. I do like the
street tacos. How courageous are you? Will you go street tacos in Mexico City?
Yeah, of course. What do I got to go to Mexico City to get Domino's? Like, yeah, I'm going to get some street tacos. Absolutely. Right. I hope they're great.
Report back.
Absolutely.
Talk to Alfredo Gutierrez. He was telling me last week that he knows all the hot spots.
Oh, okay. I'd like to know that. I'm probably not going to venture too far from the hotel though, because I'm not that brave. Ern says, could we move Burford to right tackle? I don't know if you want to be moving rookies around. I mean, he's got his hands full of right guard right now. I'd be more comfortable trying McKivitz or more. Me.
Burford was a phenomenal pick. He's a road grader. They're really nice at guard. He would just get abused by speed rushers. I mean, you think McGlinchey doesn't kick out fast enough. In Burford, it's one thing to do it for Texas San Antonio, and maybe next year in camp he could be worked in at right tackle. But to throw him out there now is just begging for somebody to just crush Jimmy Garoppolo.